I have with me three people. We will have an amazing and excellent debate, at least I hope so. The point and the topic today, in the last 2 weeks, we've had very conflicting reports. Who is now the king of smartphones? Some people go with Apple. Some people, Samsung. What is for sure is that Nokia no longer is the one holding the crown. And what is going to happen now? The next quarter, very important. Very many things are going to happen out there. So 2 questions for this panel. Who will be the winner this quarter? Who will be the winner 1 year from now? Let's find out. Himanshu, we'll start with you. Where are we going? Samsung, Apple, Nokia this quarter.
I think it's going to a very big, it's a very tough competition, but I would go with Samsung. I still believe that the Samsung Galaxy S2 as a brand, I think it's been a rage in Europe, in Asia.
But it's already out, so why would it not have done it this quarter then?
The fact that it has been released in US, and I think that the time it releases in US, and I think it's going to a big rage, I think it's going to overtake Apple.
Well, that's actually true. The numbers in US are being predicted about 8 million for this quarter. All right, let's find out from the person who always is in the Apple camp. Are you deserting them?
No, but I would still say Apple. iPhone 5 around the corner.
Okay. I still am a little bit in the Apple camp right now because I think they might still be the top.
Okay, so what we're really saying is, let me get this right, okay? So we're basically saying Samsung, because Samsung Galaxy S2 about to get released in the US. Fantastic momentum already across the world. iPhone 5 will come out. It will take the market. iPhone 5 may just come out in time, will take the market. Budget phone coming out from Apple?
I've heard 2 rumors. I've heard that they will take the iPhone 3GS, make it a little bit cheaper and be like, okay, here you go, this is your budget iPhone. But I also heard that, you know what, they're going to take the iPhone 4.
So what's a budget phone from Apple? Because, you know, that's an oxymoron.
Yeah. I know,
a budget Apple iPhone.
Yeah.
What is the price in India? 9,990?
No, I still think it will be around 15,000-ish.
Okay.
But,
so that's 4,000 of a drop for the 3GS. That's not unheard of at all.
Because Apple still has to maintain that, you know what, rich people buy this phone.
So you're actually going ahead and saying that it's a very elitist phone?
I think that's the image that Apple projects on their devices. Absolutely. That, you know, only the premium...
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. I see people who buy an iPhone just for the heck of it. You know, I've got an iPhone. They might not even have a single app installed on it.
I know, it's so exclusive. 20.3 million people bought it in the last 3 months. It's such an exclusive phone,
premium,
right?
You know,
yeah, 20 other million people.
It's an
so
aspirational phone. Right? It's an aspirational device, right? People aspire to have an iPhone, right?
But you do know that everything that is aspirational and becomes mass market because it sells too well eventually becomes a loser. Samsung due to take this market from, I mean, the rumor is 2 more smartphones in the S series from Samsung in this quarter. Along with the S2 means that's some incredible momentum for them, right? Give me prediction, numbers. If they did about 19 to 20 million this quarter, what do you think they'll do next time?
I think you can probably add 5% more to that, and I think that Samsung probably is now I've heard that they are getting into a 3D market, and I think that's something Apple hasn't thought of as of now.
I think is the greatest disaster anybody can
exactly.
do. The 3D market of smartphones.
I agree in the sense that people haven't been a big fan of 3D.
No, Himanshu, I've tried using a 3D phone, right? 2 minutes of watching a 3D video, something like that, I have a terrible headache.
I have a question for you then. So many patents going down for Apple in the 3D market. What are you going to do when they have 3D on Apple? Suddenly then it'll be the God device again?
They might do something different, but if they do what typically everyone else is doing, I'm sorry, I get a headache. I can do without headaches,
everyone trusts Apple to come up with this bit of innovation that, you know, it does...
Or they'll even get naked 3D, right? Is what you're saying?
And
by that I don't mean you have to be naked when you're using the phone. I mean naked eye 3D, right?
I'll be very uncomfortable with naked 3D, man. I'll be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I wonder what if it was to be filmed. Yes. Okay, so let's go down now to question number 2. Far more important. Prediction for a winner 1 year from now, and I am bringing Nokia and LG into the business, and HTC too. Remember, the most aggressive now will be LG and HTC because they're not too far away, and Nokia already at 16.7 million with Microsoft. Let's get predictions.
I think with HTC and LG, I think they're bound to improve. But for Nokia, I'm a strong believer they will decline. Because I think they made a good decision by going down with the Symbian. But I think they made even more disaster by tying up with Microsoft. I think it was a tie between 2 losers. Of 2 losers.
No. I don't think so. I think Nokia, we cannot write them off, right? Still, even today, forget smartphones, they might not be doing that well. They might be declining. A year down the line, with their marketing muscle, with their distribution network,
and with the kind
of hardware that they have, right? I think Nokia has
The
a
new
very
CEO
big chance of coming back into the game, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. Put your neck out.
Right.
Give me a Nokia number. It'll be number 1, number 2.
I would say they have a very good chance of being number 2
Number 2.
by this time next
So
year.
that means Apple goes to 3 then, because Samsung is number 1 then?
Nah.
I think
Nokia will come down to...
Even in a year, you're saying it's not going to be number 1.
No.
So it's Apple 1, Nokia 2,
Yeah.
and Samsung or anybody else 3,
Yeah.
according to you.
I would still go for Samsung because I don't think LG can ever have that much of an improvement in terms of shipments.
A 1, 2, 3, 1 year from now.
I have a belief that Nokia might take first place again.
Really?
Because
Okay.
they're not focusing on the software anymore. This is their main problem. The software was their main problem.
Yeah. Right.
But they're not focusing on the software anymore, just focusing on hardware. And Nokia makes pretty good hardware. They make pretty damn good hardware.
And they're
Okay,
innovating
and
as well.
rate Windows Phone 7 for me. I mean, it's not a bad experience, is it?
It's not bad. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. It will take some people getting used to for it.
With the Mango update, it's actually become very efficient
Yeah.
too. So
Mango
that
is definitely the current iteration of it isn't. It's okay, but Mango does make a lot.
I think the way the
difference.
market works, I think it's all about, as of now, it's about the App Store and it's about the market. And I think Windows, I don't think it stands when you compare it with Apple
again,
and Android.
you know, when you talk about app stores, the numbers don't count. You know, Apple gives out billions of numbers of apps and
That's
everything.
the reason why Apple and Android are there, right?
No, Android has like hundreds and thousands of apps. I don't see more than 100 of them which you can actually use.
Because Nokia is just focusing on the hardware, I think that they have a big chance of coming out with really, really good devices. And their advantage is the budget segment. Their advantage has always been the budget segment.
Right.
They will make some premium phones, sell it for a whole lot of money.
So let me get this prediction right. So maybe a Microsoft Windows Phone 7 made by Nokia for $9,000.
I think they might be able to manage it. I think Nokia is the only manufacturer who can actually manage that
And
price
yet
point.
the hardware would be fantastic, because that's one thing they have.
I think it would be great. Yeah, great for a budget phone. Yeah.
The operating system that will win the war in 1 year.
In terms of
Just pure numbers.
of course, it'll be Android.
Yeah. It's going to be
Just
Android.
because of the fact that they have so many manufacturers.
So many manufacturers, so many devices out there.
Yeah.
So in terms of pure numbers, yes.
So at this present moment, the final prediction for you is Nokia is the winner in a year, Apple in 3 months, Apple in 3 months, Apple in 1 year, Samsung.
Samsung all the way.
All right. I don't think we really changed our opinions all through this conversation. That's where we started, and that's where we're going to end.